everyone. Today I walk you through the final layout design for our debate setup. This layout is carefully structured to ensure smooth flow and organization throughout the event. The purpose of this layout is to create a well-organized and balanced environment where every participant can communicate effectively, and the audiences, judges, and evaluators can clearly follow the proceedings. At the front of the room, we have two KROs, the moderators, and a timekeeper. Their tables are positioned at the front to oversee and manage the debate proceedings, making sure everything runs on time and remains in order. Next is the podium. A podium will be placed on the left near the supporting team and moderators. This ensures a clear view for all the participants. On the left side, we have the affirmative team with their seating arranged in a clear line to maintain focus on their arguments and presentations. Opposite to them, on the right, is the opposition team, seated in a similar arrangement for an easy and fair exchange of ideas between both sides. Next, we have the judges seated in the middle. Their central positions allow them to evaluate the debate objectively with a clear view of both teams. And lastly, behind the judges are the evaluators, responsible for reviewing the participants' performances, followed by the audience who will observe and support the event. This layout ensures that everyone involved, from the participants to the judges and audiences, can engage effectively in the debate. A well-structured environment not only enhances communication, but also improves the quality of the discussions. Together, we create a space where ideas thrive and thinking can grow. Thank you for joining me in exploring this design.
Good day, I am Famiya Mabang, and today I am excited to share how our group designed and produced our video. I'll explain our process from brainstorming ideas to the creative and technical decision we made. We kick things off by brainstorming to figure out our theme and style. After that, we research free software options and pick the best camera for filming. Next, we outlined the steps we needed to take to create the video. We wanted it to be both engaging and clear, so we added subtitles and chose a style that matched our debate theme. For the technical side, we used an iPhone to capture high-quality footage and decided on CapCut as our editing software because it's free and super user-friendly. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed participants, welcome to our debate program today. To start our event on a thoughtful note, let us bow our heads for a brief opening prayer. I invite John Lloyd Pamine to lead us.
Let us pray. Dear God, we come before you with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom. In times of uncertainty, grant us clarity and strength. Help us to find peace within unsought and extend that peace to others. May our action reflects to our love and bring unity to our community. Thank you for your constant presence in our life. Amen.
Thank you, John, for that inspiring prayer. You may now take your seats. I invite Mr. Cyril J. Sanoy to give us with a welcoming speech.
I am honored to extend the welcome to all of you to the current debate of the day. We are here not just to listen to a discussion, but also to appreciate the philosophy and values of discussion, reasoning, and rationality. When viewpoints are opposed, as they commonly are in increasingly polarized world, it is a rigorous discussion that brings out the truth, interrogation of beliefs, and expansion of horizon. Today, we have a fascinating topic to discuss. Technology is an instrument to achieve human goals, which is the Group 1 supports, and technology is what humanity does, which will be defended by the group too. This is an important matter which a nuisance and it can get on our important speakers have assembled concise, cogent argument for the sides of the debate. To the both esteemed debaters, I would like to call for vigorous debate. Follows are so. May I kindly ask you to pay attention and evaluate the reasoning and effort behind each point made. Thank you very much, and may the competition begin.
Now let us welcome Ms. Nafer Cañete for an opening speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, and my fellow debaters, today we gather to explore a fascinating question that sits at the heart of our increasingly technology-driven society. Is technology a means to an end? Let us engage in a thought-provoking and consultative debate that shades light technology-driven society by understanding the challenges and opportunities presented by the digital revolution. We can work towards a more equitable and inclusive future for all. Thank you, and may the best argument prevail.
Thank you, Cañete, for that wonderful speech. Without further ado, I invite Princess Brilio Jean from the supporting team to deliver us their opening speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, today we stand before you to champion the notion that technology is not a master, but a tool, an instrument in the hand of humanity to achieve our goals. From the wheel to the internet, technology has been driving force behind the progress, allowing us to conquer challenges and reach new heights. We believe that technology, when harnessed responsibly, empower us to solve global problems, improves our life, and unlock the full potential of human ingenuity. Join us as we explore the transformative power of technology and its role in shaping a brighter future for all. Thank you.
Before we dive deeper, I invite Karil Bagayas to introduce our panel of judges.
Please welcome our esteemed panel of judges, Ms. Ariana Diente, an 18-year-old graduate of Doña Carmen Denia National High School from Balioc, Davao City, who is a promising young woman with a bright future ahead. Ms. Karil B. Bagayas, a 19-year-old with honor awardee from Dr. Santiago Damodao Senior National High School. Ms. Karen May C. Riquina, a 19-year-old graduate of Kalinan National High School under the Accountancy and Business Management strand, residing in Barangay Winis, Baguio District, Davao City, who is driven to succeed. Mr. Janrick Malaya Kalungin, a 20-year-old graduate of Dr. Santiago Damodao Senior National High School from Banacan, Davao City, whose dedication to the general academic strand makes him a remarkable role model. Mr. Joshua James C. Malbago, a 19-year-old with honor awardee from Magtuod National High School, who hails from Tupok District, Davao City. Ms. Myla Fernandez Macalibag, a 19-year-old with honor awardee from Marilog High School of Agriculture in Bukidnon, whose diligence sets her apart. Ms. Hani Jane L. Malan, a 20-year-old with honor awardee from Santa Ana National High School in Matina Crossing, Davao City, who pursued the general academic strand and continues to excel. Ms. Angelex C. Ostoy, a 19-year-old honors graduate from Los Amigos National High School, Tubok District, Davao City, with a passion for community and leadership. Ms. Princess Jean Brilio, a 19-year-old graduate of Canacota National High School from Ilang, Davao City, with a focus on accountancy and business management. And last, Ms. Kisha M. Awar, a 19-year-old with honor graduate from Federico Yap National High School residing in Puan, Davao City, whose academic success speaks volume.
Now, let's go over the mechanics of the debate to be led by Ms. Awar.
Good afternoon, everyone. So here are the mechanics of the debate. Affirmative team will argue in support of the resolution, while the negative team will argue against it. Each speaker will have 2 minutes for their constructive speeches.
Now, for the criteria of judging, let's welcome Mr. Malbago.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the criteria for judging. Organization. Main arguments and responses are outlined in clear and orderly way. Then that is 30 points. Content. Logics, weight, and relevance. Structure, focus. Use of arguments, reason are given to support the resolution. Use of cross-examination and eventuals. Identification of weaknesses and negative team's argument and ability to defend itself against attacks. And that is 40 points. Presentation. Clarity of expression, specifically speak clearly and concisely. Tone of voice, precision of arguments contribute to audience attention. Level of enthusiasm are convincing to audience. Spoke within the time limit, and that is 30 points, in total of 100 points.
With the mechanics laid out, let's hear from the supporting team. Please present your additional arguments to support your position.
Good afternoon, everyone. We stand before you today to champion a truth that has shaped the course of human progress. Technology is not a force to be feared, but a powerful instrument to achieve our goals. Imagine a world where we eradicated diseases with gene editing or connected every corner of the globe with high-speed internet. These are just glimpses of the potential of technology to solve our biggest challenges and create a better future. We will demonstrate how technology acts as a tool, a catalyst for progress, enabling us to reach our full potential. Join us as we explore the limitless possibilities of technology as a means to achieve our goals. Thank you.
I'm your moderator and I'm excited to see our supporting team present their arguments. Let's kick things off. Mr. Salyaza, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Gente. So, technology as a means of human health. My arguments today is simple. Technology is essential for improving human health. We're not talking about gadgets, but life-saving innovations. Like antibiotics, which have eradicated countless diseases. Advanced imaging like MRI and CT scans allow for faster, more precise diagnostics and leading to earlier interventions and better outcomes. Imagine a world where we can cure genetic diseases with gene therapy or harness our own immune system to fight, such as cancer with immunotherapy. These are not just a dream. These are real possibilities being explored right now. However, access to this advancement is not equal. Many communities lack of basic health care, let alone cutting-edge healthcare. Technology, this is unacceptable. We must invest in research and development and ethical implementations of technology. We must ensure everyone benefits from this advancement. Technology is not just a tool, it's a powerful force of a healthier future. By embracing innovations and ensuring equitable access, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to live longer. Healthier lives. Let's not let the promise of the healthier future be a privilege, but a right for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salyaza. Those are compelling points. Now, I'd like to invite Ms. Latimbang to expand on this. You have the opportunity to further support with 2 minutes.
transformative power of transportation. Transportation plays a crucial role in our lives and has many benefits. First, it helps businesses grow by moving product from one place to another. This creates jobs and helps local economies thrive. Second, good transportation makes it easier for people to access schools and hospitals. When people can travel easily, they can get better education and healthcare, which is very important for everyone, especially those in need. Lastly, new transportation technologies like electric cars help protect the environment. They reduce pollution and make our cities cleaner and healthier. In short, transportation connects us, support our economy, and help us build a better future for everyone. Investing a good transportation system can improve our lives in many ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lutimbang. Great points. Now let's hear from Ms. Sasaka. You have the floor.
The impact of technology on agriculture globally. Technology has made advantageous globally impact on agriculture, changing farming methods and improved yields. With the use of sensors, drones, and data analysis, precision agriculture allows farming to maximize yields, reduce waste, and use resources effectively. With the use of this technology, farmers make more educated decisions about fertilization, irrigation, and pest management, resulting to more productive and environmentally friendly farming methods. Technology additionally help in the creations of new crop types, disease-resistant seeds, and advanced agriculture methods, all of which have improved the food production and global food security. Technology has also made it possible for farmers to access global markets, opening up opportunities to trade and economic growth. Farmers can negotiate higher rates for their produce by using online platforms, mobile applications to access market data. But price patterns and potential purchases. Farmers now have more ability to engage in global trade and earn a better living because of improved connections. Technology has made it easier for farmers to sustainable agriculture methods like organic farming and precision irrigation, which reduce their influence on the environment and promote good land management. Thank you.
Well said, Ms. Nasaka. Now let's move on.
Biggest advantage of surveillance technology is deterrent value. Just the presence of camera makes fewer people commit crimes. Many studies have been conducted to demonstrate the crime mitigation value of elevated video surveillance. It is represented to use technology for policing without balancing this privacy and civil liberties that need to be considered when using these technologies. Nonetheless, this use can be managed by connect guarantees and guidelines. We include the settings of rules of guide and how when surveillance footage in connect, sort, and assist.
Now, let's move on to Ms. Caballero for further elaboration on your points. You have the floor.
Connecting through technology. Today, I argue that technology is not just a tool, but a powerful instrument for achieving human goals, especially the goal of connection. Technology has revolutionized communication, allowing us to connect with loved ones across vast distances and build vibrant online communities. And this is the essence of what technology offers us, the ability to connect, to plan, and to work together to achieve our shared goals. These platforms also provide opportunities for learning and growth, offering access to educational resources, online courses, and expert guidance. In what we do every day, we use technology to connect with our family, friends that is away from us. And now in what we are doing, this debate cannot be done if it's not planned. Using technology is really a big help in connecting us to do something that can be well planned. Through technology, we can connect with mentors, peers, and communities that support our professional development. Technology is not just a tool, it's a bridge that allows us to connect with each other, with our communities, and with the world around us.
Fantastic points, Ms. Caballero. Now, Ms. Lompipi, you may start. You have the floor for 2 minutes.
Technology solving human problems. Technology has become a super important part of our lives, helping us solve all kinds of problems, big and small. It's like having a magic tool that can make things easier, safer, and better for everyone. Technology like cell phones, social media, cars, machines, and more, helping us solve the small problems we face. Smartphones and social media allow us to easily communicate with friends and family regardless of distance. Technology has become a powerful tool for tracking some of human's biggest challenges, such as climate change, pollution, cybersecurity threats, terrorism, crime, and more. Technology helping us solve the problems of climate change and pollution by developing clean energy sources like solar and wind power, using smart farming techniques to conserve water and reduce pollution, finding ways to recycle and reuse materials instead of throwing them away. Technology helps us solve problems of security threats, terrorism, and crime by creating smart tools that protect our computers and phones, track down bad guys, and keep us informed about dangers, making sure our information is safe, helping police catch and criminals, and warning us about potential threats. Technology has become an indispensable force in addressing human problems, from everyday inconveniences to global challenges. Technology is driving solutions to pressing issues like climate change, poverty, and security threats, offering hope for a brighter and more sustainable future. Thank you.
Ms. Amba, please share your thoughts. You have 2 minutes. Tech-driven education. Education benefits greatly from technology. The first is accessibility. Technology has taken away barriers of space that previous classrooms were restricted to. Technology can bring everyone to the same level. Thus, online courses, digital textbooks, and other technologies have leveled the ground in a modern classroom to ensure that any child gets his or her shot at education. Second, personalization. It is now the era where everyone can fit the same program of education, as new technology has helped in giving students opportunity of learning at their own pace and style. Technology used in assessment, differentiated instruction, and content have ensured learning becomes fun and more fruitful process. Third, collaboration. Technology assists in making learning teach less, allows students and teachers to socially interact with each other, as well as distribute the work in projects. Through the forums, classroom, and collaboration tools, students' critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and awareness of culture has been enhanced. Fourth is innovation. The reason is that through the help of technology, students avail tools that enable them to study, research new ideas into their projects, and develop new methods of solving problems. Hence, every element of technology, engagement, and learning will prepare the student for future living in a world where innovation is forces and great technological breakthroughs are achieved. In the face of rapidly evolving world, the future of education lies in embracing the transformative power of technology. Tech-driven education is a necessity. It equips us, the youth, with the skills, knowledge, and critical thinking abilities needed to navigate the complex and interconnected future. Thank you. Thank you and good points, Ms. Amba. Now let's hear from Ms. Francisco.
technology to enhance human communication. Imagine a world without smartphones, video calls, or even emails. Communication will be slow, limited, and sometimes impossible. But technology has changed everything. It's like a magical bridge that connects us across oceans, mountains, and even time zones. Think about how technology has made communication easier. We can instantly send messages to friends and family anywhere in the world. We can have face-to-face conversation with people across the globe using video calls, like we're sitting right next to them. And we can share photos, videos, and even our thoughts and feelings with just a few taps on our phones. Technology has also made communication faster and more efficient. We can get news and information in seconds, not days or weeks. We can collaborate on projects with people in different countries, working together in real time. And we can learn new things from experts all over the world, thanks to online courses and educational platforms. Technology has also given us a voice. Social media allows us to share our opinions and connect with others who share our interests. We can raise awareness for important causes and make a difference in the world. We can even start businesses and reach customers all over the globe. Overall, technology has brought us closer together, made us more informed, and given us the power to connect and share like never before.
Finally, Ms. Gato, you have the floor for 2 minutes.
The influence of electronic devices on modern society. Electronic devices have revolutionized modern society, reshaping the way we communicate, work, learn, and receive medical care. From smartphones to wearable tech, these innovations have allowed us to connect globally in real time, access vast amounts of information, and increase productivity. In communication and connectivity, real-time communication is now possible with anyone, anywhere. This is not only strengthens social connections but also allows for global collaboration in business and education. In education, it has been revolutionized by electronic devices. Tools like tablets, e-readers, and online platforms have made learning more accessible. Especially in underserved regions, students in remote areas can now access quality education, bringing the world's knowledge to their fingertips and giving everyone an equal chance to succeed. In the healthcare field, electronic devices like MRI and CT scanners, wearable health monitors, and robotic surgery systems have transformed patient care. Early disease detection, precision and diagnostic, and minimally invasive procedures have saved countless lives while improving quality of care and reducing recovery times. Lastly, electronic devices have improved workplace productivity with laptops and cloud-based applications. Employees can work remotely, ensuring more flexible working conditions. This has led to an improved work-life balance and greater efficiency for business worldwide, providing that technology can enhance both personal and professional lives. Therefore, electronic devices have significantly improved. Thank you.
Thank you, supporting team, for your insightful arguments. Now, let us turn to the opposing team. We invite Ms. Peloso to present the opening remarks.
Thank you, Ms. De Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, while the supporting team presents a convincing argument, we stand firm in asserting that technology is what humanity does because it is a natural extension of human creativity and problem solving. From the earliest tools to the digital age, technology has always been central to human progress. It's more than just gadgets. It's how we express our drive to innovate, communicate, and improve our world. As humanity evolves, so does our technology, reflecting our constant pursuit of growth and advancement. In essence, Technology is woven into the fabric of what it is, of what it means to be human. Thank you.
And now, for the resolution of the opposing team, let us all welcome Ms. Arian Jane Ongo.
From the earliest days of human existence, humans have used tools and developed new technologies to meet their needs and solve problems. It suggests that technology is not a separate or independent entity, but rather a product of human ingenuity and creativity. And overall, it emphasizes the idea that technology is a fundamental part of human existence, and culture and that it is shaped by a complex interplay of social, cultural, and historical factors. Thank you.
Debater number 1, Ms. Chara de la Cruz, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Ms. De Jesus. I would like to inform you that today we are rapidly adapting to the importance of technology. That's why we are here and we argue that technology is what humanity does. Humans use technology to travel, communicate, learn, do business, and live in comfort. Technology has made our lives easy. It is unimaginable to explore how its advanced forms have impacted our lives and how they will shape the future. But with the help of who? Who made technology to make our lives more comfortable? It is humans. Technology is an instrument to achieve our goals, but with the help of human knowledge, we can build things to live and convenience. This is what humanity does. Technology is made with the power of human knowledge. It is created to make our lives more comfortable. For example, cell phones help us communicate, and machines make life less of hassle. Without human knowledge, the goals we want to achieve through technology would never come to life. As I mentioned earlier, humanity is the core of technology. Without human rationality, technology would not exist. Yes, technology is useful, but there is issues we need to resolve, like our tendency to rely too much on it. According to a study by Penn State, 77% of people said society relies too much technology. While technology makes life easier, this dependency, especially on gadgets like phones, has negatively impacted humans. We all know humans have the most powerful weapon attached to our bodies, brain. Our human capabilities are flexible and powerful. Technology today cannot function without human intelligence. According to Professor Maurice Anshan of Imperial College London, no computer program can match human general intelligence. Therefore, technology is what humanity does. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. De La Cruz. Those are compelling points. Now, I'd like to invite Ms. Lozada. Please expand on this. You have the opportunity to further support within 2 minutes.
In the 21st century, technology has become an essential part of our lives, fundamentally changing how we communicate, learn, work, and interact with the world. However, as we embrace this advancement, we must also recognize the challenges that come with them. When technology offers us incredible convenience, it can also lead to a disconnect from what it means truly to be a human. The sense of touch and genuine emotional connection often fade when our interaction takes through screens. As a young digital age, I can say that technology has indeed changed our identities. Over the years, we have become increasingly dependent on technology, especially artificial intelligence. We use it almost every minute, every day, for everything from homework to social interactions. While AI helps us in many ways, making tasks easier and providing instant information, it also raises concerns about our skills and self-confidence. To navigate this changing landscape, we need to find a balance. We should embrace the benefits that technology offers, while ensuring that we maintain our essential human skills like empathy, creativity, and critical thinking. Let's commit to lifelong learning
and engage in conversation about using technology responsibly. Together, we can create a future where technology enhances our lives without diminishing our humanity. Let's remember that while technology is a powerful tool, it should never replace the genuine connections and experiences that make us who we are. Thank you.
Friends who stand and precipice will build a world of unparalleled convenience and connectivity, a world where information flows freely and possibilities seem endless. But beneath this glittering and chilling truth lurks, we become prisoners of our own creation. We stand and precipice our legacies created for convenience, our behavior trapped and exploited for profit. We're trapped in a digital page, fed information, and losing critical thinking skills. We must break free, demand ethical guidelines, embrace digital literacy, and reclaim our minds, traces, and humanity, but the manipulation goes beyond our individual lives. Technology is now used to influence elections, spread propaganda, and manipulate entire population. The lines between truth and falsehood blur as deep fakes and synthetic media proliferate, making it increasingly difficult from communication. But we have a choice. We can break free from the digital page. We can reclaim our autonomy, embrace critical thinking, and demand transparency from those who wield this power. We must demand ethical guidelines from the development and deployment of technology, ensuring that it serves humanity and promotes a just, equality society. We must empower ourselves with digital literacy, understanding the mechanism of manipulation and taking control of our online experiences. Let us not to be passive victims of the digital age. Let us rise up, break against the manipulative machine, and reclaim our minds, our choices, and our humanity.
Go. Well said, Ms. Lababis. Now let's move on to debater number 4, Mr. Hapa. You have 2 minutes to defend your title.
Today I stand before you to affirm the resolution, technology is what humanity does. In making this case, I argue that technology is not merely a collection of tools or machines. It is a very embodied of human creativity, innovation, and survival. It is an extension of our will, our desire, and our drive to improve the world around us. But such a debate forces to separate the nature of life and technology. What am I arguing in this statement is that we shouldn't have the distinction according to Lyora G. 2018. Technology and humanity is a distinction without a difference. First and foremost, let's consider the essence of humanity itself. We are the species marked by curiosity and relentless drive to solve problems. From the first stone tools our ancestors crafted to the sophisticated artificial intelligence system we build today, technology has always been a reflection of our intimate desire to explore, create, and overcome challenges. To wrap things up, technology is not a force that exists independently of us. It is a manifestation of human aspiration. To embrace technology is to embrace humanity. Let us not fear the technology we created, but rather celebrate them as an extension of our very well-being. They are what make us human, so therefore, technology is what humanity does. Thank you.
Go. Now, let's move on to debater number 5, Ms. Angelica Malvino, for further elaboration on your point. The floor is now yours.
Technology has made a lot of changes, but it's still something we use. It doesn't use us. Technology reflects our ambitions, but it doesn't dictate who we are. We create technology shaped by our values and aspiration, not the other way around. Humanity is more than just technology. Our emotions, relationships, culture, and spirituality are fundamental. Technology may facilitate some things, but it doesn't encompass the full spectrum of what makes us human. Viewing technology as a determinant can lead to a dangerous reductionism,
prioritizing efficiency over ethics and social responsibility. We must use technology responsibly, remembering it's a tool, not a master. In conclusion, technology is a powerful tool, but it is not the defining force of humanity. Our values, pursuit of meaning, are what truly define us. Let's not allow technology to overshadow the essence of who we are. Thank you.
Fantastic point, Ms. Malvino. Now, let us all welcome our debater number 6, Ms. Shane Lewis. You may start, and you have 2 minutes to defend your title.
From the earliest days of human existence, humans have used tools and developed new technologies to meet their needs and solve problems. Technology is often seen as the pinnacle of human achievements, a reflection of our intelligence, creativity, and drive to improve the world around us. Technology, as I stand today, is not merely a tool, it is a mirror that reflects how we as humans are choosing to interact with the world and with each other. Using technology destroys the quality of our most essential human experience, our interaction with one another. We've been sold the idea that technology connects us, but in reality, it driving us apart. Social media, texting, and video calls are not a substitute for genuine face-to-face interaction. Yet we increasingly rely on them, isolating ourselves behind screens while fooling ourselves into thinking we are more connected than ever. The quality of our human interaction is deteriorating not because technology is inherently bad, but because we have chosen to use in what ways that erode the every essence of connection. Technology is a mirror reflecting our choice and priorities. Technology is what humanity does, but it's also reflecting of who are we becoming. And if we continue down this path, we risk losing what makes us human, our ability to truly connect with one another. We allow technology to fragment our attention, our empathy, and reduce our relationship to shallow, transactional interaction. Thank you.
Technology has improved our lives, but it has caused serious harm to the environment. The energy needed to run data centers adds to the pollution and makes climate change worse. Technology also creates pollution, dirty air, water, and even noise that harms both humans and animals. Using non-renewable resources like gold and other materials means there will be less for the future generation. Daniela Meadows, in her book, The Limits to the Growth, warns and how technology can drive humanity to use a resource that's unsustainable. True, technology brings benefits and damage it causes to the environment cannot be ignored, and we must take action before it's too late. Technology offers many benefits and convenience. Its negative impact on the environment is undeniable, from energy consumption and the harmful effects of technology advancement and clear unsustainable use of resource threatens our future. Thank you.
Thank you, and good points, Mr. Netalia. Now, let's hear from Mr. Abit, the debater number 8.
Thank you, Ms. Mia. Technology amplifying our worst traits. While technology is often seen as an extension of our abilities, it can also magnify our worst traits. Social media, for example, frequently promotes misinformation, hate speech, and toxic behavior. Rather than bringing people together, it often creates echo chambers where harmful ideas are reinforced, making it harder to bridge divides. The spread of misinformation and division. The rapid spread of false information through social media has real-world consequences. It leads to polarization, discrimination, and even violence. Instead of fostering understanding, technology often deepens division and encourages conflict, making society more fragmented. Failure of accountability. Tech companies in their pursuit of profit have largely failed to take responsibility for damage their platforms cause. They often prioritize engagement over safety, allowing harmful content to spread unchecked. The negligence of has only worsened the social media and psychological harm caused by technology. In conclusion, while technology has its benefits, it has increasingly become a tool for spreading harm and division without accountability from its companies, and a greater emphasis on digital literacy. Technology will continue and undermine social cohesion rather than support it. Thank you.
And last but not the least, our last debater, Ms. Misidin Matias. The floor is now yours for 2 minutes.
Technology can lead to social isolations and decrease human connection. We often hear the lament that technology is isolating us, pushing away from genuine human connections. While it's true, the excessive screen time that lead to disconnect, we must overlook the profound ways in which technology is actually fostering connections, bridging distance, expanding our capacity for empathy and understanding. Think of countless online communities that have sprung up around shared interests, passions, and causes. These virtual spaces provide having individuals to connect with like open-minded people, share their experiences, and find support and encouragement. For those who feel marginalized or isolated in their physical communities, these online spaces can be a lifeline, offering us senses of belonging and connections. Technology has always revolutionized the way we communicate, allowing us to stay in touch with loved ones across vast distances. Imagine the families separated by oceans who can now share their lives, their joys, and their sorrows in real time through video calls. Imagine the communities are connected through online platforms, collaborating on projects, sharing resources, and support each other through difficult times. Furthermore, technologies open up new avenues for learning and understanding. We now access information from around and engage meaningful conversations about complex issues. Thank you.
To wrap up the supporting argument, please welcome our concluding speaker, Ms. Rikina.
As we journey to the evolving landscape of the modern world, one thing became abundantly clear that in this era, technology has become essential, enhancing our daily experiences and makes our lives more easier. The continuous advancement of technology simplifies our lives and contributes to the improvement of society. Through the technological advancement, we save lives and enhance work processes. That's all, and thank you.
Finally, to conclude the opposing team arguments, please welcome Ms. Lizelle Santillan.
Technology is what humans do highlights that technology is a direct result of human efforts. It's not just about tools or machines, but the way we solve problems and adapt to our needs. As society evolves, so does technology driving our desire to improve efficiency and life easier. It's a reflection of our choice and actions, shaping the way we live while we continue to shape it through our decisions. Thank you.
And lastly, to conclude both teams' arguments, let us all welcome Ms. Zenny Ratilia.
We conclude as evaluator that the supporting team emphasized that technology is a powerful instrument that can be used to achieve human goals and improve the quality of life. However, it is important to use technology wisely and responsibly to ensure that it benefits society as a whole. We conclude as evaluator that the opposing team emphasized the close relationship between technology and humanity, highlights the importance of technology in shaping our world and our future. It suggests that technology is not just a means to an end, but it's an essential part of what it means to be human. Thank you.
While the judges deliberate, let us take a moment to reflect on what we've heard today.
For supporting team, the debate revealed both strengths and weaknesses among the debaters. On the negative side, some participants were unprepared and nervous, leading to unclear arguments and lack of supporting evidence. Poor the management and unfamiliarity with their topics further weakened their position, while voice clarity issues also affected delivery. Additionally, the over-reliance on technology was discussed as having negative effects on health and society. On the positive side, the debaters raised important issues, took a compelling approach, and emphasized the benefits of technology in healthcare. Some debaters displayed confidence and good posture, enriching the discussion. As recommendation, it is advised that they practice more to boost confidence, rehearse their scripts, and conduct thorough research to strengthen their arguments. They should also be mindful of technology's environmental impact and work on reducing their carbon footprint. With more preparation, they have the potential to improve significantly. Opposing team, the views that technology is what humanity does, has both positive and negative aspects. On the negative side, it highlights human knowledge as central to technological progress, but overlooks critical issues like digital divide, over-reliance on technology, and ethical concerns such as privacy and environmental harm. Many debaters struggle to articulate their points effectively due to a lack of preparation and etiquette. Conversely, the positive perspective emphasizes the integral relationship between human intellect and innovation, showcasing how technology enhances daily life and drives progress. To improve discussion, participants should build confidence in sharing their ideas while promoting digital literacy to educate people about privacy protection. Encouraging a balance between technology use and human problem solving is essential. Alongside policies that ensure equitable access to technology, finally fostering ethical consideration in innovation can guide advancement to benefit society as a whole.
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the final round of our debate competition. We've witnessed some truly impressive arguments and insightful analysis throughout this morning, and now we've reached the culminations of this intellectual journey. I am Malin Hanijay, and I am honored to be the judge of summary judging results of the supporting team and the opposing team for today's debate. As we know, judging a debate is a complex process. We've been carefully evaluating each team's performance based on the criteria of the organization, content, and presentation. Before we reveal the final scores, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible effort and dedication of all the participants. You have all demonstrated remarkable research, critical thinking, and persuasive skills. That the essence of technology debate has been a testament for the power of debate as a platform of intellectual exchange and growth. Now, without further ado, let's delve into the results of our deliberations. For the affirmative team level of performance, we give the organization 17.1%, content 22.3%, and the presentation 13.8%, with a total of 52.2%. And the level of performance of the opposing team for organizations, we give 17.5%, content 22%, presentation 17.9%, with a total of 57.4%.
Now, I would like to invite our final speaker, Ms. Julia Montes, to share her insights and remarks.
Hello everyone, good day. My name is Julia May B. Montes. So, as we wrap up our discussion, let's examine this debate in greatest potential. When technology is in line with human ideas, it can improve our lives and advance quality and equality for global issues. It's critical that going forward, we use technology to advance society rather than only for financial gain. So, let's make a commitment to making sure that humankind is elevated by technology developments and promoting a future which everyone are in tribes. And that's, thank you.
Please stand again for the ending prayer as we conclude this event. Let us welcome Ms. Mayna Makiba.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude for this opportunity. We thank you for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding you have granted us during this debate. May the words spoken here, even in moments of disagreements, reflect our respect for one another and our desire for truth and growth. Lord, as we part ways, we ask for your continued guidance in our thoughts and actions. Help us to carry forward the lessons we have learned and to apply them with humility and grace. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you all once again for attending, and let's continue to promote discourse and engagement within our community. See you next time, and safe travel homes.